like you heard those stories about Heath Ledger and the Joker and how he was like, he was, why so serious? The Batman. And then, they call cut and he's at craft service. He's like, who took the last Butterfinger? My favorite chocolate at Halloween is probably the Kit Kat. And they were like, okay, Heath, grab a Heath bar and chill the fuck out.
Hey, it's Herbert. And you're listening to the About Last Night podcast, you slippery little son of a bitch. About last night.
Welcome back to the show, guys. Welcome back to the About Last Night podcast. If you haven't been here in a hot minute, welcome back. Also, Happy New Year. You get about 2 more weeks to say that, and then people are going to go, hey, fuck off, man. It's March. It's already St. Patty's Day. What are you doing? My rule of thumb with the Happy New Year wish is if you haven't seen the person yet, you can say Happy New Year. Don't abuse it. Don't abuse the Happy New Year pleasantries. But it is a nice way to kind of break the ice and also kind of, you bump into somebody that you don't really want to talk to. And I ran into a comedian I haven't seen for years. Fine guy. We never were really buds, but we're fine. He's fine. We're both fine. We both just, hey, what's that? We've done that. That's about it. And he had, I see him and I go, Happy New Year, man. And I forgot his name, by the way. Again, we'd never really been friends, but I've seen him around clubs for probably the last 15 years. Sporadically. Not enough consistently to remember his name. So he said my name, and then I went, my man. Which that should have been a dead giveaway that I don't know who you are. If somebody my mans ya, if somebody my mans ya, they don't know who you is. If somebody my mans ya, you might be a redneck. So I go, my man, and then I go, he goes, dude, good to see you. I go, how you been, man? How you been? That's a follow-up that lets me know I'm now here for a couple minutes, tops. Thought he'd give me a short answer. Hey, we don't really know each other. Here's some bullshit about how I'm doing, and bye-bye. See you in another 10 years. He goes, how am I doing? And I was like, fuck. That sounds like a 12-minute answer minimum. So I go, well, yeah, how you doing? Because I guess I haven't seen you since the accident. I go, fuck. Add another 10 minutes to that fucking story. I go, what accident? Gotta ask. You can't go, nah, I haven't seen you since. Anyway, I'll see you soon, man. No, you got to inquire about the accident. If somebody brings up I haven't seen you since the accident, you need to follow up. I go, what happened? He goes, my finger got caught on a jet ski key, and it got ripped. It got caught. A jet ski flew off, and I flew off the jet ski, and my finger got like ripped off on the key on the jet ski. And he goes, they had to take skin from my knee and my chin and my back and my pushing and my crack. We'll be right back. And so then they took that and they grafted onto his finger, like made a new finger. And I said, can I smell your finger? No, I didn't say that, but I thought it. And then I said, holy shit. And he goes, but I ain't complaining. He says, but I can't complain. I go, I think you can complain. Your finger was ripped off by a jet ski. So then he's like, how you doing? And I'm like, fuck, how do I match that? So I was like, dude, had diarrhea last week. Forgot my keys this morning. Overslept. I didn't have anything to do, but I wanted to be up at 10. I got up at 10:15. He's like, dude, life, right? So, Happy New Year. Use it sparingly, but use it wisely. And Happy New Year to you guys. First ALN back in 2025. 2025. Did you ever think we'd be here? Did you ever think you'd make it this far? Did you ever think you'd live to see 2025? Time is going fast, so YOLO as much as you can. I'm really trying to find that balance of like, dude, YOLO as much as possible, and also like don't like take care of yourself. I've drank once in the last 10 days. Feeling pretty good about that. Smoked maybe twice. Necessary. I looked back at the last few months and go, oh, the shows, the travel, the staying up late, and the drinking was not getting out of control, but I a few days off. December, I think I had like 3 days off, and every other day I drank. Whether it was a shot or a lot of shots. Post Phil shows, the post Dr. Phil live show hang. I need something to come down from it. I need something to kind of decompress and just like chill out, man. But pre-show, that's no problem. I'm not doing that before the show because I need all my wits about me. Since I've last seen you guys, I guess the last live pod I did was dude. Probably here post the roast of 2024. Which thanks for watching that. Appreciate you guys watching that. Hey, thanks. Hope I can count your vote in 2029, 2048, but 2052. We're doing it. Get the price of groceries down. I got 2 days left, 2 weeks left. Hey, happy January 6th, by the way. Happy 9/11. Happy early Kwanzaa. Did the Joe Biden on the roast of 2024. Appreciate you watching it. Did Joe Biden on one of the 2 nights of the arena shows in Austin for Kill Tony. Those were fun. The panel was myself, Joe Rogan, and Harlan Williams. Oh, my. Just a wild time. Those arena shows for Kill Tony are banana city. It was fun to have a little banter with Rogan. There's a good clip that I think it's at 2 million on my TikTok of me going, how you doing, Joe Rogan? And Tony's like, this is the first time you guys have probably talked to each other. Tony's like, you should have him on the podcast, Joe. He's like, I tried. We asked. And I go, I was asleep. You got to hit me in my prime time, 3 to 3:15. Come on. He was a good sport. Fun times. Kill Tony just announced a big Nashville show. Coincidentally, a day before my Dr. Phil Live show. Crossover. Dr. Phil Live 2025 tour is in full effect, guys. I mean, holy shit. This Saturday we're in Vegas. When you watch this episode, we will be 3 to 4 days away from Dr. Phil Live in Las Vegas. Cannot wait. The guests for these shows, that's probably the biggest challenge is booking up these Dr. Phil Live shows because, they're all out of Los Angeles, which is where we pull from most of our talent pool, right? And we've been fortunate to have a lot of people step up and come through. The 2-part holiday special, if you haven't watched it, is one of the best things I think I've ever put out on the internet. And am so grateful that people showed up, but also destroyed. Everybody delivered on that show. Shout out to Wayne Brady, Jay Leno, Jaleel White, Harry Mack, Rob Riggle, Brad Williams, Tony Hawk, Jeremiah Watkins, and the Comedy Store and the cast and crew that puts on the Dr. Phil Live show at the Comedy Store. We have a show February 4th. I haven't announced the guests, as we always do. It's a surprise. But February 4th at the Comedy Store is going to be wild. They're all wild. The show in Vegas this Saturday is insane. And then we have San Francisco next weekend at the Masonic Theater. And then Dallas, Denver, Atlanta, Nashville, Boston, Kansas City, Indianapolis, Cleveland. And we're adding Reno, and we're adding Atlantic City and Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, I know you guys have been asking for it. We are adding Pittsburgh. I just got the email today. Stay tuned. I think it's going to be June. All those tickets at AdamRayComedy.com. And if you haven't seen the Netflix special, please check it out. Dr. Phil Unleashed on Netflix. The Golden Globes were last night. There was a Netflix party. I didn't go. I went to see Bill Burr run his new hour. Call me crazy. Didn't want to go to the party. Wanted to watch my favorite comic do his new hour, and it was fucking wild. It's cool, too, just to be able to go and have the store, shout out to the store for just holding a few seats for us and and coming through to watch the GOAT, dude. Burr is the GOAT. There's a lot of GOATs. Some people get upset when you say someone's the GOAT. Maybe they think they're the GOAT. There's a lot of GOATs in every department of the arts, but Burr is a unique voice that is imperative to the time, and you need people that are topical with it, smart, and have a really articulate way of breaking down life, their perspective, and making it resonate and relatable to a room full of strangers. Stand-up comedy, right? But Burr was on fire, dude. He had some. It was just awesome, and we saw his special in Seattle last spring. So the fact that he's got a new one ready to go already is inspiring, to say the least. But we watched the Globes, keeping in the vein of people crushing it. You got to give Nikki Glaser her flowers. She prepared her balls off, her tits off. What do people get upset if you say that? Like, she prepared her balls off, but it's like she doesn't have balls. So is it like, immediately I just heard somebody in my head go, do the woman for tits. She worked her tits off. Nikki looked amazing, and she crushed. And she was confident. My wife goes, she doesn't seem nervous at all. And I go, yeah, she's so seasoned and ready for all the opportunities that are coming her way. And she crushed the Globes. Let Nikki Glaser host everything. She's likable. She's funny. She's fearless. She's fierce. She's got a cadence and her easy on the eyes, easy on the ears. You want to not have an abrasive set of pipes. You want to be, and she's conversational. You don't want these jokes screamed at you. Some comedians scream. You know who you are. Maybe I'm one of them. But Nikki's just calm, cool, and collected, and she just was so like, oh, this shit's hilarious. But with a likable confidence about it. But I remember seeing her run the jokes 2 weeks ago at the Comedy Store, and I was like, I maybe heard 4 of those, right? Because she just was up 3 to 4 times a night, making sure she was dialed in. And she had a killer team of writers. Mike Lawrence, her boyfriend Chris, I know, helped out. Bob Castrone, who's a funny guy. Sean O'Connor. The list goes on and on. I think 10 writers helped her get ready for this. Not an easy gig. That is I would love to be in the room, actually, and really, a crowd is a crowd for a comedian. I'm sure you get out there. Obviously she was so poised that I'm sure the stage and the whole situation was, nerve-wracking as far as you want it to go well. But you see the crowd, you're like, yeah, it's super famous people, but at a certain point, especially being in LA, and if you've had a career like Nikki has, you've performed for famous people. It doesn't. As you get to a certain point, you see them, and you're like, I'm doing my thing. So if I look out into the crowd and Kevin Bacon isn't laughing, okay. But she had some really great moments. Making fun of Selena Gomez's boyfriend was really funny. I think she said the genie granted you that wish. That's why you're here. Something like that. The Timothy Chalamet, that was one joke that I saw a few weeks ago at the store. You've got beautiful eyelashes on your upper lip. Really funny. Yeah, great job, Nikki. Great job. Great job. And it made the whole show more fun to watch. She had good bits in between. Really fun show. Those award shows, the Globes are historically, if you look up like old speeches and like Robin Williams, Jim Carrey have these like iconic, zany speeches and presenting moments. Will Ferrell, Kristen Wiig. People weren't as silly. People definitely on the acting front aren't as wild as Nikki definitely set the tone, and then everybody else was kind of like, I'm gonna do this funny as I can be. My boy The Rock had some funny lines. Melissa McCarthy had some funny lines. They were, those are people that have a comic brain and they're trying to be as silly as they can be. But then you had like Andrew Garfield, who I think is a great actor, but he came out, he put his glasses on, he was wearing his never-ending story necklace that he got out of a box of Cheerios, and then he had so much chest hair, and then at one point he just kind of pulled his shirt over and was like, but he was fucking everybody. If you locked eyes with Andrew Garfield last night while he was presenting at the Golden Globes, chances are you came. So, award shows in general are just so fucking dumb and boring, though. Like but we love them though, because it's a great way to get celebs and people to get. We all like watching it, but they are stupid because it's a popularity contest, and that'll never not be a part of life. I mean, that's every job has that. Life is high school. I mean, shit, dude. The parties. I was like, man, did I miss out by not going to some of these parties? But I want to go watch Bill Burr. I wanted to. We did have a few people over to watch the Golden Globes, and we did ballots. And I told my wife, I got to get prizes. We got to make this fun. So we got two $50 gift cards, Amazon gift cards, for first and second prize, and third prize was 3 trash magazines, People, Us Weekly, and Star. And it actually made watching it more interesting because everybody was like, even though we hadn't seen a lot of the stuff, I feel like more and more MTV Movie Award or video music, the VMAs, I'm like, fuck, I don't know who this new artist is, DJ Dildo or fucking Bonnie Buttplug. I'm just like, fuck, I don't, But they got the number 1 song in the world, and it makes me feel out of touch, and like I don't have my finger on the pulse of what's happening. But same thing with the movies. I knew Demi Moore was in a Thriller. She won. That was great. I thought she was going to give Bruce Willis a shout out. Missed opportunity. Zoe Saldana, the girl from Avatar. She cried a lot. She was the first award, and she cried a lot. She seems like the shit. The speech felt a little contrived. Do you know what that means? We'll put up the definition. Contrived, a little much. This is real life. This isn't a film. The way that she pulled herself out of the tears and the emotions, like she'd be, I just never thought I would be, but I did. But I did think about this, but I never thought I would, as a young girl. And I'm looking at my kids and I love you. You guys are my rock. I love you. You know what I'm saying? The balance, the imbalance of going from emotion to then reeling it in was just like, it felt, I think you can act so much that you don't know how to act in real life. Does that make sense? You're on set. You're so used to just pretending that you get into real life and you're like, who the fuck am I? Somebody said that to me the other day. They're like, dude, do you get lost in the Dr. Phil? Oh, I was doing Biden for the Kill Tony Arena show, and some guy goes, how do you turn it on and off? I go, I don't know. I'm talking to you right now, and hey, I'm looking at you like I'm counting on your vote. Come on, we're getting the price of groceries down. And then I just go back to being me. He's like, that's what you have weird, that's so weird, that's a little psycho, right? I was like, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. The fact that I don't think too much about it. Maybe it's just reps. Maybe I just get comfortable at being able to jump into it, but I jump right back out of it because when I lock into doing the voice and whatever and the impression, I don't know, reps of pretending, but I can step out of it. Like, you heard those stories about Heath Ledger and the Joker and how he was like, he was, why so serious? The Batman. And then, they call cut and he's at craft service. He's like, who took the last Butterfinger? My favorite chocolate at Halloween is probably the Kit Kat. And they were like, okay, Heath. Grab a Heath bar and chill the fuck out. You want to talk about an actor that would be ripping it right now. I think R.I.P. Heath Ledger, R.I.P. Philip Seymour Hoffman. I feel like those guys would be in the driver's seat of what's cool. We haven't had a Tom Cruise movie in a while. Where do you think Tom Cruise lies in the greatest actors of all time? I had this debate recently. Cruise has given us he's a movie star. I would be willing to say, and we could pull up the stats, 97% of his films made were like a profit at the box office, but are also things where people are like, have you seen this movie? Like, they get referenced a lot, you know? Let's just go on the line. Jerry Maguire. Last Samurai, so good. Vanilla Sky, great. Magnolia, is he in that? I think so. Is it Collateral with him and Jamie Foxx? Jerry Maguire. Did I ever say that? Oh, sorry, Top Gun. Oh, sorry, Risky Business. Oh, sorry, A Few Good Men. Oh, sorry, War of the Worlds. That's 10 right there. I know I'm forgetting. Tropic Thunder. I mean, the guy delivers. Oh, and then 19 Mission Impossibles. They've made 30 Air Buds. They've made 19 Mission Impossibles. And then all the stunts. Him fucking jumping down into the stadium to close out the Paris Olympics. What a freak. That guy's a freak. He's addicted to adrenaline. I mean, dude, I fucking trip walking down the sidewalk, and that gives me like, I'm going to die, you know. But he's like, I got to fight somebody underwater twice a year. I need to scale a building 5 times a year, and I need to go to space or, you know, eat at Taco Bell in the morning, you know, do something that's out of my comfort zone that's going to make my body reset itself. Happy New Year. Mom, I'm going to wear pants tomorrow. I'll tell you where I'm going to get them. The perfect jean. Guys, Adam Ray here. Let's talk about jeans for a second. Yeah, not Jean Smart, the incredible actress who's a Golden Globe winner, but I'm talking about jeans on your butt, your legs. I just got my hands on the perfect jean, and listen, these things are a game changer. It's like wrapping your legs in a cloud that somehow makes you feel like a rock star and look like a gangster. Not like someone's going to stab you in the dick outside of a Panera. Look, I swear I forget I'm even wearing pants half the time. And yeah, this is an ad, okay? So strap up, strap in, take off your strap on, and hear me out. If you know me, you know I don't mess around when it comes to comfort. These jeans, they're the real deal. And here's the best part. 700,000 pairs of nuts have been saved from the torture chamber that is bad denim. Bad denim sounds like a great band name, but it's also screwing up balls for guys. The perfect jean, well, they're the nut-saving heroes of our generation. Stiff, unforgiving jeans? Gone. Say hello to stretch, softness, and comfort. Oh my, that sticks around all day. No pun intended. And don't worry, no babies were harmed, but these jeans are soft as a baby's butt. Doesn't matter what shape you're rocking. Dad bod, you know, gym bro, or maybe somewhere in between. They've got you. Waist sizes from 26 to 50, okay? Guys fluctuate all the time. You're fat, you're thin, you're Jewish, you're gay. Lengths from 26 to 38. They got them all. So whether you're a tall legend or a compact king, the perfect jeans got you covered. The perfect jeans got you covered. Oh, and did I mention that these jeans also hold up? Yeah. I've gone from lounging on the couch to impromptu dance-offs with my dog, and guess what? They haven't stretched out or lost their shape. You can sit, squat, sit, or sprint to the fridge, because I know you can't go 10 minutes without a Cheez-It, you fat bitch. But these jeans move with you, Gabe. It's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectjean.nyc. Go to theperfectjean, JEAN.NYC. And right now, About Last Night listeners get 15% off your first order plus free shipping. 15% off your first order plus free shipping at theperfectjean.nyc. Free returns and free exchanges when you use the promo code ALN15 at checkout. One more time, that's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with promo code ALN15. After you purchase, they're going to ask you where you heard about them. Tell them where you heard, okay? Support my show and tell them that we sent you. Fuck your khakis and get the perfect jean. Enjoy the episode. I was in Chicago last week with Matt Rife. Matt Rife sold out 8 shows at the Chicago Theater. That's a record. That's a record. Did some shows with Matty. He's a beast. Every show's different. The guy has a wonderful crowd. He commands the stage. He almost got attacked. He did get attacked. Somebody fucking standing broad jumped onto the stage, parkoured his way into Matt's arms. His security tackled him to the ground. I think the clip's got like 50 million views on his Instagram and TikTok. Go check it out. But those shows were fun. Matt is going to be a guest on a Dr. Phil live show. I will not tell you which one, but that show is going to be wild. Chicago Theater will be there in March on the 16th for Dr. Phil Live. That show is also going to be wild. But Chicago is such a cool city, man. We went to a Bulls game. We went and saw Nosferatu. I will suck your blood. Nosferatu, the mustache and the bald. Dude, the Nosferatu character is so creepy. We were so baked. My Seahawks had just gotten eliminated. Well, the Cardinals blew it to beat the Rams. Seahawks needed then a miracle on Sunday to transpire, and it didn't happen. And we tied the Rams for the division, but strength of schedule, fuck them. Sean McVay, eat a dick. Puka Nakua, fucking try to suck your own butt. Fuck the Rams. Seahawks will be back next year. We're young, we're hungry, we're rebuilding. We go to Nosferatu after the Cardinals blow it. I'm like, spark up that J again. We were already very high. I mean, we were so high, I think I went back for a second popcorn. And the movie is creepy, dude. Definitely couldn't sleep for a bit. Because Nosferatu, I will suck your blood out of your tits and then spit it back into a bowl of Frosted Flakes and make you eat that on your birthday. This guy is creepy as fuck, dude. He looks like the Nosferatu character. He's like skin and bone. He's tall and skinny. He's always buck naked. They showed his penis a lot. He looked. And Johnny Depp's daughter was always fucking him. It was a wild movie. She awoke in a spirit, which is what he was. He came back years later, and then she was married to Nicholas Hoult, who, I mean, it was crazy. He goes to the castle to he wants to be a real estate agent, and they send him to the castle, and then he gets Nosferatu, fucking kills or eats his blood, and then spares him. Oh, he met some villagers that did a prayer on him that spared Nicholas Holt's life. So then he's on his way back, and Johnny Depp's daughter fucks the spirit so that Nicholas Hoult can live. And he walks in right as she dies. Now you don't have to see it. Happy New Year. What else? I wrote down a few other things here. What, do you guys have resolutions, by the way? Is that a thing? Is that who's doing that? My resolutions as a kid were I want to read more. I want to travel. I want to make money doing comedy. That was definitely a real resolution. I'd say 2010 when I was still working at Universal Studios. I was in a long distance relationship, and I was like, fuck, is it ever going to happen? I was only 5 years into being out of college. That just goes to show you how wild this business is. Do you know that I've now been in LA post college for 20 years. 20 years. I remember being 5 years in and being like, this business, what am I doing? Had been doing stand-up for 3 years, started in 2007, was working at Universal Studios, was doing improv, was working at a casting office, was making money at the theme park. I thought about trying to pick up other gigs. I tried to get a job at Yummy Grocery, the delivery service. They didn't hire me. I was like, I'm Wolverine at Universal Studios. I got the job as Wolverine. I beat out like 50 guys to be Wolverine, and you can't let me just bring bagel bites to some MILF in the Hollywood Hills? Nah, man. Something about you don't seem like you could do that. So I didn't get that job. And then I quit Fleming's. I think I've told the story before, but I was working at Fleming's, the steak restaurant, for 2 days. I got palpitations because the kid training me was freaking out the way I was saying Chantilly cream, which is like their fancy Cool Whip. The main chef was like screaming at me at the way I cut butter squares. There was a lot going on. But I stuck with it. And that's what this business is all about, dude. Do not stop and just control what you can control. But you got to think outside the box, and you can't just wait around for things to happen. I see all these shows and movies on TV, and I'm like, I want to be in those. But you can't. You got to. Creating your own opportunities and your own good luck is like a real thing out here. But 20 years. It's been 20 years. That's wild. but excited. You got to be excited. You see all these Instagram posts. Everybody says it's going to be a great year. Everyone says 2024 was their best year and that 2025, the best is yet to come. Every post. The best is yet to come. 2024 was unreal. Look at all these pics. I mean, fuck, I did it too. But it's so silly. And everybody's like, 2025 is going to be lit. 2025 is going to be the year we all level up. But you got to think that way. What's the alternative? Yay, another fucking year. Ooh. Ooh. Who gives a fucking shit? Who gives a fucking shit? No, you got to be fired up. It's the only way to do it, man. Optimistic. Optimistic optimism. Doing some new bits on stage recently, which I'm really pumped about. You got to have new bits. That's one thing in the new year. I got 3 spots tonight at the Comedy Store, Improv, and Laugh Factory after this. I got 2 to 3 every night before we go to Vegas on Saturday for Dr. Phil Live. And if I don't go on stage with new stuff to talk about, there's no point to go on stage. And also, I'm bored as hell. Yeah, allow for some crowd work here and there. You know, these spots are 15 to 20 minutes, but I got to have shit to talk about. I thought about this. I saw a baby running through the aisles on the plane a few weeks ago, and I thought, what if that baby was, like, my first thought, jokingly, was, what if that baby was going to hijack the plane right now? And that just made me laugh. The baby, because it was running so fast, and there was no parent behind it, so I was like, is that a dwarf? Is that a little person? And then if the kid did bust through the cockpit, and they turn around, what would it say? You know, give me all your boogers. That made me laugh. Will I take it to the stage? I don't know. But this is the constant pull and push in a comedian's mind. Burr was telling me last night he does a great chunk on the healthcare CEO that got murdered. And he calls back to it 3 or 4 times. And it's fucking incredible. He's talked about it on his podcast. I went on his podcast a few weeks ago, Monday Morning Podcast, and he went hard in the paint on how this guy, no one should show remorse, and how people aren't, and how he's a dick, and he, whatever. And then I think he talked about how, like, he wished, like, other CEO, like, if it was like the CEO of Walmart killed the CEO of Best Buy, like if it was like a fucking inner circle type thing. But he just kept hitting. It was such a hard stance and approach, which he's great at. He's great at saying polarizing shit, but in a very likable, like, you're not wrong type way. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's a really pretty cool place to be as a comedian. I'm 18 years in now. 18 years stand-up. 2007. Wow. Well, I started in September 2007. So I guess. Sorry, I got some bugs, some loose bugs. Shout out to the kids that still eat their boogers, by the way. I thought eating your boogers as a kid was so gross. There's a kid on my bus. His name was Brian. He would go digging for gold, as we would call it. There's another term. There's another thing people say: digging for gold, or mining for gold, or finding a nose treat, or whatever. And I'd see him on the bus, and I'd see him pull out big ass boogs, dude, like wet fucking boogs, big shit. I'm gonna throw up even just thinking about this. And then I'd see him just like look at it. It was the combo of him looking at it, and like he'd almost smile, being like, breakfast is served. And then he would kiss it, and then he would like almost like he was trying to gag himself, and he would put the booger all the way in the back, all the way in the back of his throat. And he would eat, and he would just like fucking down the booger, dude. Like he was Winnie the Pooh sticking his paw in a bucket of honey, and then just fucking deep throating it. And I remember being like, that kid's got everything. And by that I mean autism, a burger, a syndrome. Oh my. Do you know what I'm saying? Down syndrome, autism, Asperger. So I thought all those, he had all of them. He had the hat trick of oops. So fine. Also, he's just a part. He's a part. If you got any of those, you're doing. We all got something. We all got something. It's part of being a human being. Nobody. This is why I hate when people go, "You're weird," or when kids get called weird. Like my niece was telling me some kid called her weird, and I go, Brooke, everybody's weird. And also good. You want to be weird. That means you're different. It means that means that person's deflecting. That kid, first of all, is deflecting that you're wearing your hair away or you got a nose pierce, whatever they got. You're wearing they wear my Dr. Phil Adam Ray shit all the time, and which is really sweet and tugs at my heartstrings. But kids deflect like that. Kids are so insecure, dude. Oh man, I love being 42. I wish I was younger, right? Just so I could slow down life. But man, to be a kid, what a tough time, dude. They're 15, man. Oh, so much shit coming your way. And you're trying to figure out so much. You're trying to find your place in the world and at school and at home. But they're doing a good job. They got good parents. So Brian's eating his boogers. I mean, just no thought of like, is this bad for me? Also, no internet. No kid was looking to be a, citizen's arrest. No one's going to tattle. He's eating his boogers on the bus. Nobody gives a fuck. We had a kid named Alan Christou who could suck air into his butt and then fart it out on cue. Dude, the skills that kids, there's kids say the darndest things. There should be kids do the darndest things. There's a kid that said the N-word. He wasn't black. But I remember hearing it and not even knowing it was really a bad word. And the bus driver like not doing it. Most bus drivers, there was always a few bus drivers that were like surrogate parents, right? And they could tell the kids that needed a hug or whose parents were shit. And the bus drivers probably saved some lives. There were probably some potential school shooters riding that bus. And the kid got teased or was sitting by himself, and the bus driver was like, hey, just so you know, if I didn't have to drive the bus, I'd sit with you. And I'd give you part of my sandwich. And the kid was like, you know what? I'm not going to buy that gun. So, you need that guy. A lot of the bus drivers don't give two fucks. Kids are throwing spit wads or, touching dicks and spitting and just, pulling hair. It's wild. Dude, the bus got wild. And then there's days where people just mind their business. But no bus driver was ever about to stand up and go, hey, you can't say the N-word. Because most bus drivers are probably like, I was thinking it too, So then Brian became a doctor. So that's how I know that I don't know what the fuck's going on. Because here I am being like, boogers are bad for your brain. He's doing what? What? So it's like when I did shrooms for the first time in college. I was dancing with a girl on the dance floor, and I thought I came in my pants, and I didn't. I questioned everything after that. I said, dude, if that didn't happen, now what? Everyone's microdosing these days. Microdosing shrooms seems like the way to go. Everyone's doing it, dude. Not the reason to do it, but everyone's doing it. Everyone's microdosing shrooms because it's opening your mind up to another portal and another way of thinking. It's helping people deal with trauma, stress. My dad's doing all right, by the way. Thanks for that. Should probably get my dad on some shrooms just to kind of balance everything out. Post-stroke, he's in a rehab facility, getting stronger, trying to do his thing. He's got a girlfriend in the facility. He said there's a guy that kind of liked the girl that he likes, and but he said the guy has like a weird tremor, so he's not worried about him. I was like, yeah, that's no one's gonna actively go out with the tremor guy, so you're fine. Dad is almost 80. So is our president. Hey, man, I hope he crushes it for us. But 80's old. 80? My dad is sharp. Still clicking and ticking. Trump is still clicking and ticking. Biden's fading away. Hey, come on. That's your opinion. You can just tell. Why can't we get a fucking 30 to 40-year-old president, dude? Why? Honestly, also, there should be a bigger test than just running for the office position. Like a Hunger Games type thing, or maybe Mario Kart. Maybe some fucking skee ball tournament at Dave and Buster's, or whoever can get a fucking 2 prizes in a row out of the claw machine wins. But this is another popularity contest. This is another, goes back to life is high school. Life is high school. Favorite thing about high school? Do you remember the first time I got to go to a school dance where it mattered? And by that I mean where you get to grind with somebody. Okay? Okay. Are we on the same page? Now, I mean, kids are full on fucking with their clothes on the dance floor. A buddy of mine's kids in high school, he's like, dude, I chaperoned one, and the girls were bending over and just twerking in front of the guy, and the guys were, he said one couple, they were like sophomores or juniors, were just straight up simulating fucking doggy style on the dance floor. And like people were watching and videotaping, which thank God we didn't have cell phones when I was in high school, which sounds really old, but it I mean, oh man, the things we would have captured. I would have seen Nathan Chacos just, isn't it crazy how I just don't forget some of these names? I'm gonna give you a few names right now from high school that sound like high school movie names of high school kids. Nathan Chacos. Donnie Thompson. Michelle Virgin, real name. Audrey Clickguard, real name. Luke Holtz, real guy. Morgan Nielsen, real guy. Betch Ho, real girl. Vietnamese. Betch, B-E-T hyphen C-H, H-O hyphen. Betch Ho. And people used to go, your mama's a bitch, your daddy's a bitch, your whole family's a bitch. Oh no, your daddy's a hoe, your mama's a hoe. That's what it was, because bitch ho. The Audrey Clickguard name always stood out to me as like a, whoa, how does that happen? Clitguard. I didn't even know what a clit was, and I was like, this feels fucked up. I need a haircut. Let's go ahead and poll the audience. Cut or grow? Let it grow or trim it or cut it. I'll be honest, I thought about shaving my head twice this week. Gonna need some advice. Comment below. Cut or shave? I'll shave my head. Should I shave my head and like donate it? Or should I just let it grow and have like a ponytail or maybe a man bun? Your hair gets to a certain length and you go, it's time to shit or get off the pot. Like with a beard, it gets to a certain length, you look homeless, you look gay, you need something, right? You got to trim it into something or shave it and just have that clean cut. I started shaving when I was 12. I remember my dad was like, it's time to start shaving. I was like, but I don't have any stubble yet. He's like, your pubes. I was like, oh. How did you know? He was like, your pants are off. And it just looks like there's a lot going on down there. No, I started shaving at 12, but there was nothing really there. But he was like, just let me show you how to do it. I think it was just like he wanted to show me. He wanted to show me how to do it. Like, let me teach you how to shave, son. But I'm only 5. For now. Like, what? Happy New Year. If you guys are looking to do something fun this new year, come to a Dr. Phil live show. We've got 25 cities on the calendar, and more cities are going to be added. Like I said, Pittsburgh, Atlantic City will be announced soon. All these shows are at adamraycomedy.com. Come to a show. Vegas is Saturday. It's going to be wild. I'm not even joking to you. The people that are going to be on this show, I don't know how some of them are saying yes. Yes, I've developed relationships with these people, and so that's definitely a part of it, but it's wild, man. People are coming out, and I appreciate it. If you watch the Netflix special, the Dr. Phil special, good on you. If you watch the 2-part holiday special on YouTube, good on you. This Thursday, the Arizona show drops. People have been asking. We did a sold-out show at the Celebrity Theater, 3,000 in the round. Adam Carolla, Ari Maddie, Mark Norman, Sam Morril, and Murr from Impractical Jokers were the guests, and it was insane. And we taped it with like 6 or 7 cameras. That show will drop on January 9th. Thursday, January 9th. So please be on the lookout for that. We've dropped a best of Dr. Phil on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/AdamRayComedy. Part 1 and Part 2 are up. Part 3 is coming. But again, subscribe to my YouTube, youtube.com/AdamRayComedy. Tons of new content coming. We have a best of Madison coming up, a best of Chicago. So many weekends of stand-up to cut from the past few months. So lots of stuff coming. And I think some Jeremy and Elaine surprises too. So stay up to date. Subscribe to the podcast. You know what to do. Every Tuesday we drop new eps. Appreciate you guys. Enjoy the first week of 2025. Don't rush back into it too quick. I say this all the time. Ease into it, baby. Everyone's always like, we got to hit the ground running. We got to fucking do it. We got to go. Dude, ease into it. It's a new year. Don't put the pressure on. You know, lay out some goals. Have some things you want to check off the list, because there's so much out of your control. So make sure that you got a handful of things in your own control. AdamRayComedy.com for all my stand-up tour dates. We're going to be adding a ton more cities for the fall, but we've got plenty for the spring and summer right now. Of course, Philadelphia in March. Arizona, stand-up live, January 24th and 25th. Come out and see your boy. All the Dr. Phil and Adam Ray merch at AdamRayComedy.com. Tickets are there as well. Adam Ray Comedy on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And I think that's it. Be good to yourself. Enjoy the week. Happy New Year. I'll see you next week.